Welcome back. Building a budget is a task most of us dread, but in order to build up your savings, you need to be accountable for your spending, which is very important. Stuart Smith with ML&R Wealth Management here on Midday with 5 easy tips to help you build a great budget. It is a pleasure to have you back.
Good to see you.
A lot of people hear the word budget, they think, ooh, because most of them aren't doing it.
Yes, they typically cringe. It's not the favorite task that anybody likes to do.
Me being one of them.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with tip number 1. This is a great place to start. Review your spending.
So the easiest place to start is figuring out what you're doing right now. How much are you spending? Where are you spending it? Look at the last 6 months. Make sure to look at all your bank accounts and credit cards. Don't forget things that you're putting in other places, and just start making a laundry list and putting them in big buckets.
That's a great place to start. Then tip number 2 is break down your expenses into must-haves and extras. This is a tough one for a lot of people.
It is, and the idea behind it is what you really want to do is think about household, insurance, car, things that aren't flexible or that flexible, and then things like food and entertainment, travel, gifts, extras that are. So you try and bifurcate it so you can figure out which ones to start working on first and then work on the next set later.
The necessities have to come first, and then make sure, tip number 3, to include a line for savings.
Right, so a lot of us tend to spend, and if there's anything left over at the end of the month, we put it into savings. The idea is to be proactive and make that a line item in your budget. See if you can put savings aside for short-term and for long-term savings goals. Maybe you can try and stretch it, put 10% of your spending, 10% of your income every month away in savings.
Let me ask you this as a side note. Is it okay to have a main savings account, and then maybe you want to take a trip in, say, June? Is it okay to then have a separate little savings account for that too?
Certainly. However it works for you. I mean, build up your savings, and if you want to put them in different places so that you know where you want to spend them over time, that's an easy way to do it.
That's a great thing. Okay, tip number 4, find ways to reduce unnecessary spending. I guess the key here is to find out what the unnecessary part means, right?
Well, we tend to all have a little bit that we spend extra, whether it's every day, every month, whatever it may be. Trips to the coffee shop. My downfall is eating out instead of cooking in. Whether you have memberships that you, gyms that you may not be going to, or other things that you're paying for on a monthly basis that you're not using, if you can cut those out, any of that extra money can go straight into savings.
And usually that adds up, doesn't it?
It does.
Especially the eating out part. I know that's right. All right, tip number 5, track, review, and adjust.
So the biggest part is actually starting the budget, but you're not done there. You need to go through, whether it's once a month, once a quarter, every 6 months, review what you've spent, see if you're in line. If you're not, make sure to kind of correct, and if things have changed along the way, make adjustments. I mean, we're going to have things come up, like we said, kids and things that happen that we have to adjust along the way. Make adjustments, keep on track, and then at the end you'll have savings and starting the year off in a good place.
Is it as simple as getting a pad and pen and just writing it down?
As easy as you can make it for yourself, the better. That way you'll actually do it. If you make it too complicated, it'll be overwhelming and you may not actually get to it.
It's a great point. Keep it simple.
Yep.
As always, great tips. Thanks for being here today, Stuart, with all these great ways to get that budget going.